When I look at those moments in my life where things shifted for me, it was all because of a person. It was because of a conversation. You know, reading books is great and I learn a lot of stuff and there's strategies, but there's nothing like taking that same content and getting it from somebody else because the messenger matters. How to create a private Facebook group for your network. Now, this is a strategy, a very specific strategy to help you connect with people that you otherwise wouldn't have the chance to or just not have the time to do. I mean, I don't know if you feel like you're running your business without any guidance or you know there's somebody out there that's already been through this before, and if you had the opportunity to just ask them the question, their answer would help you save so much time. Or you just feel like you don't have that group of peers or people to really motivate you and support you in growing your business. I think that, you know, the value of people is probably the number one strategy. People say, like, Dan, if you could only pick one thing to really grow your business, I would say spend time with people who've been there before and as much as you can. Because they will literally give you the playbook. They will give you the strategies. They will teach you how to overcome any challenge. Many times, they'll even give you the contact or the person to do the work. It's so simple. So, you know, for me, it's like I've learned this over the years, but recently the challenge for me was I do it through dinners. If you've ever watched my video or my micro documentary on founder dinners, that's been my strategy. What I've done and shifted over time, now that I have two little boys, Max and Noah, is I really wanted to make sure that I use my time more efficiently. So what I've done is I've migrated a lot of what I used to do in person over dinners online into a private Facebook group. Now, this originally started as a joke. Okay, the group is called the Martell Method. It was a joke. The banner is a ninja. Like, I think the ninja's doing like some kind of karate kick. And it was just because I had two buddies, my buddy Martin and Clay Bear, and I wanted to share something with both of them. And I was like, well, I could start, I could send them an email with an attachment, but they would do this whole like email thread. And I was figuring, you know what, this is probably a Facebook thing, but it was private. You know, that group for me is where I share my toughest challenges. I'm open with all aspects of my business so that I can get real contextual feedback from people that I admire and know that they understand my situation. So that was the Facebook group, the Martell Method. And really it just kind of snowballed. It was like, well, you know what, maybe this person could provide some advice. Maybe I could serve this person if I invited them to this group. And I just kept curating it and curating it. Almost 2 years later, this group, in my mind, personally, and many people that are part of it that have shared this, and just so you know, do not email me asking me to be part of the group. There's no more members. It's locked in. What I want to teach you in this video is how to create your own. Because for me, the value has been probably out of all the different programs and coaches that I've worked with, this group and having access to those people that I've brought in to be able to get immediate feedback is the most valuable thing I do. That's why I'm shooting this video, so that you can set it up for yourself in your industry. And I'm going to walk you through the best practices that I've used that have made this group so valuable, because I don't know if you're a part of 1,400 other private Facebook groups like I am, but you don't need another one. You need the right one. You need one that's high value. So the first thing you need to do when creating this is you need to have a topic, or you need a theme. Who is the person that should be part of this group, right? So if you're a SaaS entrepreneur, you have a software business, do you have a group, a private group for just software entrepreneurs in a specific vertical? Or maybe you have a service business and you can create like agency group for just people in a certain type of agency. Or if you have a retail business or an enterprise business, you have a private group just for that specific thing. My barber the other day, you know, Ryan Brown, I was talking to him, I was like, yeah, I've got this strategy. He goes, dude, I'm part of a private Facebook group with all these barbers from around North America, and we share strategies and tips all the time. And I'm like, you're a barber and you do this? He's like, dude, it's powerful. That's what you have the opportunity to do, because the person that puts that together, that creates it, they're the connector, right? They're the person that creates the value for everybody else, and they're the person that people that want to help give back go to. So number one, you need a topic, you need a theme. Then you need to curate. And for me, it's really about curating on a few different levels. One is values. So for instance, I don't get along or don't connect with or don't resonate with guys in the make money, get rich millionaire shit. Like, and you know who I'm talking about. The guys with the Lamborghinis, the watches, all that stuff. It's just not my style. I don't have any hate. I don't even care about them. But I often get people saying, hey, you know, you should really connect with this person. look, I just got to check out their stuff and be like, you know what, it's not for me. It's not a judgment thing. It's just I know who I resonate with. And I resonate with people that care more about creating value, care more about building to their community, care less about their ego and all this other stuff. So for me, that is part of the value stack. So you need to decide, what does your Facebook group stand for? What does it stand against? Who gets in, who doesn't? You are the curator. You need to play that role. Second thing is, what's the outcome? What is the purpose of the group? If people join it, what outcome do you want them to get? Is it to learn about marketing? Is it to grow their business? Is it to hire better people? Is it to understand their financials better if you're an accountant? I mean, there's just so many opportunities for you to say, look, this is the type of person, and then the outcome that people get when they join my group is this. The third area, which is all part of the first topic and theme, is really about diversity. You know, one thing that I was very deliberate about in the early days was saying, okay, we need somebody that's really good at copywriting. We need somebody that's really good at Facebook ads. We need somebody that's really good at videos. We need somebody that's good at online events or live events or summits or whatever it is, so that way we could build the diversity in the group. I had the values, I had the outcomes, we were all shared, and this is the direction we're all going. And it provided information that otherwise wasn't available. So whatever group you put together, I highly recommend you curate it. You actually go out, recruit, talk to people, say, oh, you know what? I think you'd be a good fit for this thing I've got. Here's how it works. Here's my expectations. If you want to join, let me know, and I'll send you an invite. And that has been incredible. Having people that can really, truly answer all aspects of the business model, the industry you're in, is incredible. So that is the first thing, is the topic theme really based around values, outcomes, and diversity. The second is you got to curate, right? I've said this a couple times. You are the owner. So some people come in, some people leave, right? And at the end of the day, to me, the curation process is number one. You know, there's some great quotes about Groucho Marx said, I don't want to be part of any group that would have me as a member. And I think that the way you overcome that is really just set the expectations and say, look, here's what this group's about. Here's what I expect. So for me, it's like you need to contribute and you need to comment and like stuff. If I've noticed for a while, maybe 2 or 3 months, that somebody that's part of the group hasn't contributed, I just take them out. I've taken out TED speakers. I've taken out people that are in the top of the revenue game for their industry. To me, I don't care who they are. I want people in that group, a small group that are active, engaged, and that give back, right? And I'm going to teach you guys the number one tip at the very end on how to do that in probably the easiest way possible. But that, to me, is your responsibility as the creator, is to curate. Number 3 is to make sure that there's contribution, right? I talked about kind of like asking them to participate. But here's the 3 ways that I think you can get them to contribute. One is ask, right? And asking is saying, here's ask : what is the challenge they're having? And they've got to disclose their situation. For me to just say, hey, you know, how do I grow my business? That's an ask. That's the dumbest question in the world, right? What you want to say is, here's where my business is at. Here's where I want to get to. Here's what I'm doing today to grow my business. Does anybody have any feedback? That's a great ask. The other one is, to me, a give. It's you have something of value that you want to give to the group. Now, here's my filter for gives. It can't be anything that's publicly available anywhere else. So in the early days of the group, I had people that were cross-posting stuff that were public. I had people taking blog posts that they were reading and posting in the group. That stuff is out there. I don't need somebody to put that in the group. What I want as a give is, hey, here's an internal procedure that we use to get this kind of result. Maybe you guys find it value. Here's a video that I shot for a private client that I think would really add a lot of value for you guys. To me, that is the filter for a good give. And you got to set the expectation, the community guidelines early on when you invite somebody into the group, right? And then the third area is a praise. You know, there's an opportunity, I think, that no matter who you bring into the group, that they are doing things that other people may not be aware of. And that's your opportunity to praise that person and say, hey, by the way, recently one of our members got nominated, youngest person to be nominated in the Speaker Hall of Fame. So you better believe I posted that in the group and I cheered it on and everybody commented. And that to me is an opportunity to really just share in the wins, right? And to create that culture and that experience within the group. So be sure that you have a topic and a theme. Make sure that you're curating the members, and if they're not participating, you actually trim, you cut them out. And then 3, make sure that you give them the guidance to contribute to the group. And for me, it's give, praise, and ask. And then the number one tip to creating content, because a lot of you guys they're like, well, how do I find great stuff to give the group? Here's what I do. Every member in the group, I get on a 30-minute to 45-minute Skype video session, and I interview them about their business, about their best strategies, about things that they've learned, their journey, and I post that every week. And I mean, literally, if you did that and you kept having, a couple new members once a quarter, you could have enough content and you could batch them all together to just keep giving original content that not only is incredible, but gives the opportunity for other members to know the other people in the group. So that is your opportunity to create a virtual group just people that know how to build and scale your kind of business. That's the world we live in. It's incredible. It's available to anybody. It's free. And as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business by using private Facebook groups. And I'll see you next Monday. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And I'd also encourage you to join my newsletter where I share free training videos and other exclusive invites to private events. And if you're ready to get going, you want some more content, I got 2 playlists queued up for you now. I'll see you next week.